Which Venn diagram shows the correct relationship among the different sets of numbers and correct placement of negative 648? First off, I am going to make some notes of what I know about rational numbers. I'm going to go ahead and create my own Venn diagram. On the outside is rational, integer, and whole. Rational, integer, whole, so that one works. Rational, whole, integers, so this one doesn't work. Rational, integers, whole, that one works. Rational, whole, integers. So just by looking at my Venn diagram I made, I can eliminate 2 of the answer choices. So now let's talk about some things that we know about integers. So they can be positive and negative. Remember, no fractions, no decimals. Whole numbers, no negative, no fractions, no decimals. So if it cannot be negative, I know this one is out. Because whole numbers cannot have negatives, so my answer has to be A. Okay, so number 2. Your parents give you and 3 siblings $140 to share for the holiday shopping at Pearland Town Center. Which expression does not equal the amount of money you will receive as your portion? There may be more than one correct answer. So you're choosing all the ones that are not correct. First, let's talk about how many people. You and 3. So that is 4 people. And if you have to share, that means you are dividing. So you are dividing 140 by 4. When you are using division, this first number you have goes on top, the second number on bottom. When you're dividing using the division box, the first number or the top number goes inside. So all of these are the correct way. So this one is correct. So we don't want that one because we want a not. The 3 is wrong here because it should be 4. So this could be one of them because it is not. This is not how we write it, because if we wrote it like this, it would be 4 over 140. So this could be a choice. And I just wrote this one, so I know this one's not it. So my 2 answer choices are B and C. Number 3, 4 points are labeled on the number line. -2. This one is going to be 0.5 or half, negative. This is going to be 0.5 or half, 1 and 2. Which point represents the absolute value? Because what those bars mean, that mean absolute value of -2. Absolute value is the distance from 0. And it must be positive. So the absolute value of -2 is 2. So the point that is on 2 is S. So my answer is D. Mary uses the thermometer to record the temperatures of -3.4 Celsius and 1.6 Celsius. Which temperature in degrees Celsius less than both of the temperatures Mary recorded? So when they talk about temperatures, I like to actually draw a number line, a thermometer, and my thermometer goes up and down. I have 0, and then I have my numbers. Anything below 0 is negative. So I am going just to put -3.4 here, and then I have 1.6 Celsius. Then I'm going to kind of label each of my answer choices. Well, here's 0, here's D. I know D is not less than because I need everything in here. I need numbers that are below 3. And when you start counting, this is going to be -1, -2, -3, and you go below. So I know it cannot be a positive number. I know it can't be 0. 2.6 is going to be somewhere in this section, so I know it can't be this. So that leaves me with C. Number 5. Which expressions represent on the number line? They start at 0, they go to -3, then they go 1, 2, 3, they go into another -3, and my answer has to be -6. So this is 2 groups. So I have 2 groups of -3. I know here this answer will be 6, positive 6, because a negative times a negative equals a positive. So it looks like the only answer that is really feasible is A. Students in Mrs. Guerrero's class must complete at least 40 math problems for homework every week. The table shows the progress of 4 students on Wednesday. Which list shows the amount of homework completed in order from greatest to least? Greatest to least. So right now it looks like Grace, it might be one of the higher ups. But first, we need to put all of them in the same format. You can put them all in decimal format or all in percent format. Let's try all decimal format. 0.4 will be what percentage? 1, 2. I would move my decimal 2 times, and I would get what percent? I will get 40%. 2/3. This is one of your benchmark fractions. 1/3 is 33%, 33.3%. So what would 2/3 be? 66.6%. If you're not sure about it, you can come down here. 2 divided by 3. Remember, what's going to keep happening if you do this? You're going to keep getting a 6. This is already 100%, so we need 45 over 100. Wait a minute. That is an improper fraction, so I know this is going to be over 100%, right? So I know that's going to be over 100%. So it looks like, oh, D'Angelo here completed 45 problems. He did extra. So wouldn't he have done the most? So we need this one to be our first one. So that leaves us with B. So number 7, a team of players competed in a golf contest. The names and scores of the players on the team shown on the table. The scores is the sum of all the team score is the sum of all the scores on the table. Sum means I add. So I'm going to do -2 plus 3 plus -4 plus -1. So you can do your counters. -2, +3, -4, and a -1. What's one of the things I need to do is take 0 pairs out. There's one 0 pair. There's another 0 pair. And then I have another 0 pair. So that leaves me with -4. Or you can do -2 plus -4 plus -1 gives you -7 plus 3, -4. Number 8, a teacher wrote this expression on the board. -6 times 2, remember this means multiply, plus -8 divided by 4. I'm going to rewrite it over here. Not negative, positive, plus -8 divided by 4. So I'm going to get -12 plus, then I do this because it's in parentheses. What's -8 divided by -2? -12 plus -2 is -14. So you need to remember grouping, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Some other things you might need to remember. Positive times a positive equals positive. Negative times a negative equals a positive. Positive times a negative equals a negative. When you record it, there's going to be two circles all the way over here. You need to make sure you bubble in the negative. And then you start by the decimal. You start by the decimal. So to divide fractions, you need to multiply the reciprocal. I keep 4/15. I multiply, and I multiply 3/2 because this is the reciprocal. 4 times 3 is 12. 15 times 2 is 30. I can simplify these. I can divide them both by 2. I can divide them both by 6 actually. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 30 divided by 6 is 5. Another way is to kind of simplify beforehand. Okay, so you can also look across. 3 and 15. What can I divide 3 and 15 both by? I can divide both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. I can look diagonal this way. What can I divide 2 and 4 both by? 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. So I have 2/5. Number 10, a team of workers took 167.3 hours to complete a task. A smaller team of workers completed the same task, but it will take them 1.25 times as long as it took the first team. Based on this information, which statement is true? A, the task will of the smaller team of workers 165.55 hours to complete because 167.3 plus 125.125 equals 168.5. So let's just think about it. It takes them 125 times as long. It doesn't say, it's just. So I know I am multiplying. So I'm going to get rid of these. So I know it's either one of these. So I'm just going to have to go ahead and multiply 165.3 times 1.25 and multiply that. Go ahead and pause and multiply. So when you multiply this, you should get 209.125. So the answer is D. Number 11. This represents one whole. So the shaded model represents one whole. I need 33.3%. I know 33.3% because of my benchmark fractions is 1/3. So I'm looking for something that is 1/3. If this is 100%, this is 100%, another 100%. Just glancing at these real quick. So I know it's not this one. This is 100%. This is 100%. So I know it's not this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 3/10. And this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1/3. So my answer is C. Number 12. A company spent 32% of its annual budget developing a new machine. What fraction of the company's budget was spent developing a new machine? So I need to take 32% and put it into a fraction. I remember percent is always out of 100. Percent is out of 100. Now I'm just going to simplify this. They are both even, so I know I can divide by 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 100 divided by 2 is 50. They are still both even, so I know I can divide by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 50 divided by 2 is 25. I cannot go any lower, and my answer choice is here. So my order of operations. When I see something like that, I'm going to immediately think of order operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So first I have parentheses. 3 plus 5 is 8. And so they're just looking for something that is equivalent to it. So I'm going to break it down each step and see if I get any equivalent expression. 9 times 2 is not 9 times 2, it's 9 squared, which is 9 times 9, 81. Everything else comes straight down. My next part is multiply. Here's a multiplication here. 4 times 8, which is 32, minus 3 times 81. I still have a multiplication. 81 times 3, 243. But is it asking me for an answer? No. So let's look and see if I have any one. Is 14 times 81 in here? No. This is nowhere in here. So what does this basically leave me with? I have this problem that was the second step. So my answer is D. Mr. Gonzalez showed students part of a prime factorization of 90. One of the factors is missing. So prime factorization, 90. I'm going to break 90 down. Two numbers to get 90. 9 times 10. Now I can break both of these down. 9 is 3 times 3. 10 is 2 times 5. So it should be 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. If I write it in an exponential form, I'm going to get 2 times 3 squared times 5. So what is missing is 5. Again, you are going to have a griddable. The decimal is going to be here on the griddable. You're going to have two circles here. The 5 is going to go right in front of the decimal. It's not going to go way over here. It's going to go right in front of the decimal. Number 15. Leon wrote the expression as equivalent to 30 plus 6 divided by 12. Which expression can be used for the one Leon wrote? Let's look at each one. Let's just do this and let's solve this, because we're going to do 36 divided by 12. When we do 36 divided by 12, we're going to get 4. If we solve this one, we would do 36 divided by 3 first. What's 36 divided by 3? And we're going to get, so this is 12, and we're going to get 12 times 4. Am I going to get the same answer? No. Here, if I do 3 times 3 times 4, that's going to be 9 times 4, which is 36 divided by 4 times 3. 36 divided by 4 equals 9. 9 times 3 is 27. If I go over here and I do the order of operations here, 5 times 6 is 30. 2 times 6 is 30. Divide by 3 times 2 times 2. If I do 3 times 2 is 6 times 2. 30 plus 6 divided by. So here I will do 6 divided by 6, which is 1. So I know it's not this one. And I know it's not this one. So that leaves us with D. And when you do 9 times 9, 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 2 is 4. This is 36 divided by 12, which is what this is. Okay, caught a mistake. 36 divided by 12 is 3, not 4. 36 divided by 12 is 3. 16. Regina writes the expression y plus 9 times 3/4. Which expression is equivalent? So I know when I'm doing any order, I cannot mix up the order when I'm dividing, right? And you can't mix up your order when you're subtracting. So let's look at each one of these. Regina writes the expression y plus 9 times 3/4. I know 3/4 is 3 divided by 4. So when they are doing 3 divided by 4, that might work. But if I write this out, I know I'm going to solve this first. I know I'm going to do 9 times 3/4 because the other order of operation. So looking at each one of these, let's see if we can figure out which one will we know definitely will not work. If you start solving this, 3 divided by 4, with the order of operations, you're going to have to do 9 times 3 and divide by 4. If we solve it here, we're going to do 9 over 1 times 3 over 4, and this is going to be 27 over 4. Is that what we're doing when we do this? 9 times 3, 27 over 4? Are we multiplying 9 times 3 and then dividing by 4? Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. And then we are going to add y, because the y is here. So this is the answer. Number 17. Which expression is equivalent to 6 times p plus 3? Can I flip these around? Is p times 6 the same thing? Plus 3. Can I do the plus 3 on the other side? Yes. So my answer is B. What is the value of x? The value of x. So we only want the x coordinate. We do not want anything else. We only want the x in quadrant 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want the x value in quadrant 2. The x value is going to be negative 5, 6. The x value is this. The x value is negative 5. That's all they want, the x value. I'm stressing this because you're going to have a griddable, and they're going to want just the x value. So you're going to put 5, and you're going to shade in the negative, and that's all you're going to put. You're not going to put the y value, you're only putting the x value. Number 16. Select all of the following answer choices that can be distinguished as an equation. Equation has a equal sign. Equation has an equal sign. 1/4 of x, which means 1/4 times x, equals is 24. Two times a number, 2 times some number, this is some number, less than 5. Half of n is 88. Fifty is 2/3 of n. So the only one that does not work is B, because all of these other ones have an equal sign. If it has is greater than or is less than, then these are inequalities. That's using these signs. So which expression is equivalent to 3/5 divided by 7/8? So I know I need to multiply the reciprocal. Three-5 times 8/7. So this is not it. Not this one. Not this one. So that leaves me with the following diagram is a seating chart for Mr. Ford's 4th period math class. What is a decimal equivalent to the students present in class today? So these people are absent. So I am going to shade in the absent kids. Is anyone else absent? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 20 students. And we want to know what decimal is equivalent to the students today. Present today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 are present. So let's just do some. What percentage are present? I know percent is always out of 100. How does 20 go to 100? Times 5. Remember, if you multiply at the bottom, you have to multiply at the... So 14 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20, 0, carry your 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is... So 70% is present. What is that as a decimal? If I have 70%, I'm going to move my decimal 1, 2 times, and I'm going to get decimal 7. Okay, so this is your review. Please make sure you study.